on blurryprawn.com.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Downloadable Content. I'm Mike, and today on our show we have a special guest host, Kazekawa. How's it going today?
Not too bad. Hey guys, what's going on?
Kazekawa does the Japan Now. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. His website, www.kazekawa.com, and you should see that at the bottom. I'll make sure I put some text on so you guys can all find your way. And so he's agreed to help me out with today's episode, and if you're ready, we can get started on the first game.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Let's get going.
All right, so first off, we're going to the Xbox Live Arcade into Galaga Legions.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, Galaga, right? Basically, this game is kind of a remake of the old version of Galaga, but they've kind of amped it up a little bit, sped things up, and made it a little bit more colorful. And the cool thing about it is that they've added these little things called satellites that you can place around your ship, and they will shoot for you. And they allow basically 2 extra guns to take out the enemies that are coming down at you.
Yeah, they're coming at you from new angles. For this new version of Galaga, I mean, it's more or less high definition, and it's, like you said, it's almost a remake of the original. But this time, I mean, the enemies are all over the damn place, and they're just coming straight down. And with all the new colors, it actually makes it kind of hard to see the enemies sometimes. So the satellites you mentioned, using the analog stick, you can put them in a specific spot and at a specific angle. And I think they're stationary. I don't think they move around, right?
Yeah,
they just kind of sit there and shoot.
Yeah, exactly. They don't move around unless they get exploded, and then once they blow up, then you can replace them again wherever you want to. So.
And the heat of battle, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on at once. The only downside that I noticed is that it's kind of like a smaller game. Like there's only 2 modes. There's a gauntlet type of mode where you just kind of keep fighting on hordes and hordes of enemies.
Mode.
Yeah, and then
championship.
Yeah, exactly. In the adventure mode, there's only 5 stages to it. And honestly, like with no multiplayer, that's not really a lot to keep you going. Like you'll probably play it for a couple days and then leave it by the wayside, kind of thing. So, but I mean, like other than that, that was pretty much the big thing to it for me, anyways. So.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's Galaga. It's like one of the most played arcade games next to Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Pac-Man Championship Edition had come out in a similar fashion. It was all enhanced and crap.
Yeah.
Also did pretty good. So I mean, if you're a hardcore Galaga fan, I mean, this is up your alley. But if you haven't really played it before, you're a new school gamer, you're not going to want to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You might play on someone else's Xbox then.
For sure. So on this one, I'm saying this is at least worth a try. Download it and give it a shot. And then if you like, you can at least buy it. But that way you don't spend your $10 and yeah, exactly right. But in this case, you could save your money and you don't have to worry about getting bored with a game that you bought, kind of idea.
Try. For sure. But go and play it nonetheless.
Definitely. So, and now we'll move on to the Wii with Bomberman Blast. Now, this is a game that you've had a little bit more experience than myself in.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you want to just tell us a little bit about it?
Sure, I mean, they made a Bomberman game not too long ago on the Xbox, and a lot of people bashed it because of the graphics for it. They tried making Bomberman look all, mighty robot guy instead of the cute little guy that he's always been. And so Bomberman Blast for the Wii, it brought it back to its roots, so to speak. You got the original Bomberman running around, and there was actually 2 versions for this game. There was the WiiWare, and then there was the actual retail version. The WiiWare focuses on multiplayer, but the retail version actually has a really cool story and includes saving your Mii characters that are on your Wii from certain death.
That's awesome.
Although, I'm sure they're going to die anyway. You're going to die. I'm sure the Mii characters that's clever.
Might have a little bit more fun exploding them anyways.
Yeah, there's like 5 bosses. Like, bye, Mom! So you got there's 5 bosses, there's a story mode, there's like 40 stages or something like that. And the game includes a bunch of new features. Like, okay, you got this rocket that lets you actually fly around for a short time, so you're able to get out of the fray in that last second of death, if you happen to have it. Also really cool is a shield. I believe it breaks after a couple of hits, but I mean, at the last moment, that shield could, at least from one angle, prevent your death.
Yeah, exactly.
The 10 bombs behind you, you're totally gonna die.
Well, it's like almost every time that I play Bomberman, I always have that one time where the game just starts and I accidentally throw a bomb down, and it's like almost instant death because you can't do anything. Yeah, exactly. It's like no, now what do I do?
Always in the corner too.
Yeah, exactly. So at least this way, if you had the shield, it could prevent from mistakes like that. And, so yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
What's really cool too is you can use the normal Wii remote without the classic controller because they have the control scheme set up to be like a classic NES controller, which is nice. But a huge problem was it took away the main Bomberman theme song from this game.
Oh.
So a lot of people were like, "Fuck."
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so yeah, one other thing that I thought was really cool is the addition of online play to it.
Eight players? 12 players?
Yeah,
8?
I think it's 8 players if I'm not mistaken. But the only downside is that every time that I go to play a game on the Wii online, it's almost like I have to jump through a million hoops just to get to it. And I wouldn't imagine that this is any different, but I mean that's just how it is on the Wii, so you kind of just expect it.
Well, I mean, this particular battle mode, though, is supposed to have a lot less lag, and you also get emotions during the game, too.
Okay.
So I guess you can give a very angry face when the bombs go off your face.
Oh, you blew me up, angry face.
You can implement your own, like
Yeah.
middle finger, where your friends surround you.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But, I mean, it's still fun. It's still a really good, true Bomberman, and with the additional items, it really makes it good. So if you've played Bomberman up to this point and you're a fan of the franchise, this is one of the highlights for the series. So it's definitely worth going out and trying to get if you like Bomberman.
Definitely, I totally agree. On this one, I would honestly, just because I'm more of I'm actually quite a big Bomberman fan. I would say this is at least worth a buy. I mean, $10. So
don't be cheap, guys.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in Galaga, you got an excuse. This one, no.
This one, no. This one's a good game. Buy.
Get the retail if you can spend the money too.
Most definitely. And then finally, we're moving on to the PS3, and we're moving into WipEout HD. This game was one of the more hoping for titles from a lot of the WipEout fans. They've been waiting for something on the PS3 for a long time, and honestly, in terms of graphics and gameplay, they really backed that up.
Oh yeah, high definition, and they remade, I think, 6 out of the 8 original tracks from previous WipEout games.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a bit of nostalgia with a big slap of high definition to that.
For sure. If you're unfamiliar with the way that WipEout works, you can basically, if you take F-Zero and add weapons to it, that's pretty much how the game works. Really fast racing on space-like tracks, and so like there's speed boosts on the road and stuff like that. You get items and weapons to take down the opponents in front. The one thing that I've heard a lot of people complaining about this game is that it gets really hard the further you get into it, and in order to progress through the game and open up the other tracks, you have to get gold medals. And in order to get that far, like the difficulty level gets cranked right up. So it's a little tougher in that sense, but honestly, a good all-around game.
It is a good all-around game, but I think the reason why they had to boost up the difficulty is because a racer's a racer. I mean, WipEout was a little bit more unique because it is F-Zero with guns, but there are a lot of games where you're racing with guns, and there's a lot of games where you're like F-Zero. So, I mean, they have the traditional things, tournament modes, time trials, speed laps, the trophies you can get. You know, like you said, get the gold medals so you can get better everything so you can actually compete in the harder modes. But I kind of felt like the game looked like Pod Racer, like prettier graphics than it got.
Yeah, exactly.
And because that game got ridiculously hard, right?
Yeah.
The harder you went in. So, and that was really frustrating. So I just hope for people who decide to play this that they know that going into it, and that hopefully it's a little bit more lenient at one point.
For sure. And the only problem that I found with WipEout is you can't actually download a demo of the game.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a buy-only type of idea. So what I would suggest is to check out a bunch of videos and read some comments and stuff about the games, what people thought. But if you're into racers and something that looks very pretty, this game's definitely up your alley. But honestly, I would say definitely you're going to want to check things out and try it first.
Yeah, try it for sure. And on the note of trying, there is going to be future downloadable content and new tracks, so maybe it'll get better. after this review comes out.
Yeah, like expansion or something like that.
Yeah, and new vehicles too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Try it.
Yeah, give it a try. It's worth it. And so that pretty much wraps up this episode. Downloadable content. I want to thank Kazekawa again. Really appreciate the help on the show here, and yeah, again, if you get a chance, go check out his website. He's got a lot of cool stuff on there, and yeah, so that's it for me.
Thanks, guys, and Blur Prong kicks ass.
Right on. Have a great day, guys.